Over the wind noise. I'm trying to block the microphone of the camera, but Dad and I are just going back out to the Anchorage. We went into to the nearest town to do a bit more shopping because we were running low, and we're just coming out of the marina and Dad's engine stopped actually, so that's fine. We have wind, so we can just tack up towards the Anchorage again, but yeah, I don't know, something seems wrong. But on the other hand, we are going really well. 4.3, 4 knots about. I just have to watch out for this motorboat that's coming across my bow in a minute. I see you, bird. He's coming from upwind, so it's a little bit hot, but he seems faster. Oh, cool, I think. But yeah, once we get into the Anchorage, I'll help Dad with my amazing engine expertise to try and figure out what's wrong. It might be the impeller, he said over the radio, which I know that one all too well. But yeah, there he is, sailing away. Yeah, we've got, all together it's like 8 miles to the Anchorage. So obviously if you're tacking, let's say that's double that, 60 miles. But it's 2:30 p.m. right now, so we're still pretty comfy. Yeah, it's actually turned into quite a nice sailing day if you want to put a positive spin on things. Nearest headland that you see there, and then we're going in before the far away headland, so we're kind of in between those two, and then the bay goes up that way quite a bit more. Yeah, it's a really nice spot actually. We're just turning into this bay, the bigger bay where our Anchorage is now, and I am wondering, I've just put the engine in neutral. I was motoring for a bit there because it was going pretty slow, and Dad changed his impeller, so he was motoring too, so he was faster than me. So I couldn't let that happen, so I had to start the engine as well. But anyway, we are just turning into this bay now, and I wonder if it's gonna be on the beam. If the wind stays from this direction that it is now and doesn't have like a lock effect or whatever you want to call it, then it should be on the beam coming in. But I suspect somehow it's going to turn onto the nose, because that's usually what it does. But we'll see. Kind of making like 2.5 knots like this, the engine in neutral. It's not awful. I don't know if you guys remember, but that is the headland that we came around when we arrived from Menorca to Sardinia. That is the headland we rounded, and where we felt like, whoa, this is amazing, flat, calm water, because on the other side of that it was pretty dang wavy. So, just wanted to remind you guys of where we're at, I guess. And that is the engine off. I seem to be making 3.5 or so, which is much more respectable. Yeah, not too far to go to the Anchorage now. Woohoo! So yeah, now we're anchored, back in our old spot, kind of, at least. And hopefully we'll have a really nice, calm time at anchor here. Probably be here a week, if all goes well. The weather here to the side of me is not looking fantastic. I hope it's not coming this way. We shall see.
So clear.
Yes.
Well, as Hazel said, that trip started with a bit of an unpleasant surprise. Shortly after leaving the marina there, the buzzer came on, the warning buzzer, to suggest that the engine was getting a bit warm, a bit overly warm. And it was still fairly busy there. There was a cruise ship anchored out. There's a fish farm just beyond that. A sort of rocky island with a lighthouse on. And I'm afraid to admit, that the last thing that came into my mind was to grab the camera and start filming. What I actually did was raise sail as quickly as possible and got us sailing. And as Hazel also said, the wind was coming from exactly the direction we wanted to go in, so we started beating up fairly short tacks to start with between the various obstacles. And then once we cleared the fish farm, I could get her onto a long tack out to sea, and knew that things were going well, and so could take the time to pop down below, open the engine room up, and I strongly suspected it was the impeller. And so luckily on this engine, which is a Volvo Penta MD 2010, delivering the maximum a mighty 10 horsepower, but actually at the speed I run it at, it developed some 7 horsepower. But the impeller, or the water pump, is mounted right on the very front of the engine. Water pump looks like this. And so it's easy enough just to pop these. You've got a ring of screws on the front. If you don't know these, many of you will know this already. But just pop these screws out, which I've prepared. A little bash for the screwdriver removes that plate then, or unsticks it. That comes off, and inside of here you've got the impeller, which you can just leave it out with a screwdriver. And there's the impeller, and this one you'll see is an old one. 2 of the little impeller legs have broken off this one. But the issue I had was that it has a bronze middle, a rubber outside and a bronze middle, and the bronze middle had to come unglued from the rubber outside, so the bronze middle was still turning but not pumping anything. So it was easy to just put a new rubber in there, new impeller, assemble it all again, and away we went. A very, very quick fix. Lovely, isn't it? Pretty good job that was. There's a lot more.
Nice.
Birthday cake!
Whee. Okay. Look a bit dorky with these sunglasses, but my hat looks very cool. Oh, that's yummy.
Oh, good. Did get a tiny tad overcooked in truth. But, I think I just about saved it in time.
Let's see you eating some.
It's Hazel's birthday.
Happy birthday to me!
Hello. Having a stroke? You're supposed to be a wild donkey, so I don't think I should really be stroking you. Yeah, he's coming up to us, exactly. He probably wants some of my cake. They're all around, you hear them? All around us. That is the deer. What's that noise, eh? Listen. And I think it's ratting time. I think that's what's going on. Oh, listen to it, Haze. They're fighting. They're fighting. Coming through, you dear. We're coming through. Coming through. Look at them. They're all around us, Haze.
Okay. Make noise. Yeah,
We are making noise. Coming through, you dear. Coming through. Look at that stag going through there. Going to cross the path in front of us. There he goes. Ratting time. Clearly you have to...
Clearly the stuff around us.
They are that. Hey, you big fella in there, eh?
It is amazing, isn't it? Don't trust it.
He's after your lunch, isn't he?
He's so tiny.
Yeah, you're a cutie, isn't it? The wild donkeys of Sardinia, eh? Wild. Oh, I was furious. So I bought this lovely light fishing rod and I want to hang it up here to store it. So my goal is to get a couple of hooks in. That one would come in pretty close in there, somewhere like that. In there, somewhere like that. Oh, it was pretty fun. one more turn. Okay. That's okay there, like that, that's for sure. Screw in there. Right, wonder how far that can go in. Let's see this. Get that in there like that. And that, we're just poking behind that like that, and it's not bad, is it? Could possibly go in and that's more. Yeah, that's okay, I think. That's quite nice. Well, look at this morning. It is fantastic. Water is crystal clear. You can see all the sea cucumbers down on the bottom. There's my anchor out behind us. That's how much breeze there is. We just sort of floated up over the anchor. Pretty gentle, eh, Haze? There's a lot of sea cucumbers, aren't there? So many. And if you can see, I hope you can see those black, look like a load of turds really on the bottom. They're all sea cucumbers. There are loads and loads of them. This is sea cucumber heaven here. And there's the anchor chain going down there. I'll climb out this way. There's the anchor chain. A couple of big clamshells down there, empty by the looks of it. What a morning. I was out snorkeling with Hazel earlier and my mask that I bought fairly new keeps fogging up. It's driving me nuts. So I've just read, or Hazel suggested, and I just read up that you treat it with toothpaste. You put a little squirt of toothpaste in there and then rub it with your finger, apparently, in a circling motion for a bit longer than you imagine. And I'm giving it a go. As you see, I am trying to treat this lens. It only works on glass lenses, but these are tempered glass. So giving it the old works, and obviously you've got to rinse it off afterwards. But apparently there's a coating or a coating that can build up during manufacturing that needs to be taken off with a mild abrasive, basically speaking, which is what the toothpaste is doing there. And after that, your normal anti-fogging treatments will do the job. We will see. Okay, I've rubbed that in for quite a while, and now I'm going to let it sit with the toothpaste on for a while. Because that's what the website I read suggested you should do. It's a good tip from Hazel. Hazel's got a PADI open water license, so she's a trained scuba diver. And said she did it hers, and her mask doesn't fog up at all, so this may well be the answer. We live in hope. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. I'll just leave you with this final thought. You know, the cruising lifestyle is very much about moving from place to place with your boat, of course, but it's also about enjoying the places you get there, taking some time to explore and to generally enjoy yourself there. And it's a wonderful lifestyle when that is available. And I hope, and in fact, the point of every video I've ever made has been to to try to inspire people to have a go themselves. And I hope to some small extent this does show how good it is and inspires people to get out there. I'll shut up. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Bye.